ICU बिचारा खत्म थई गया.
All right, now we are going online. Yeah, we are online.
Okay.
Aban, we'll start 5:30. Jai Baba. Nothing is real but God. Nothing matters but love for God. God is the only reality. All else that seems real is illusory. God and I are one. Meher Baba. Avatar Meher Baba ki Jai. Thank you, beloved Baba, and Jai Baba to all of you. We are reading this book, More Conversations with the Awakener. We are on page number 61. Now, the title of the chapter is Influence, Presence, and Essence. But it has got 4 big paragraphs, so we'll see how much we can cover today. The rest of it, we might have to postpone it for the next year. Go ahead.
Early one lovely morning, I strolled down the quiet lane by my house. The soft light of dawn was spreading across the sky. I had gathered a cluster of wildflowers, and as I walked, I admired their enchanting colors. In spite of feeling relaxed and refreshed from my walk, I found myself deeply preoccupied with some recent incidents which had made an impression on me. A few days earlier, I had gone to the circus. The highlight of the evening for me had been the acrobats whose supple movements and superb positions and formations amazed me. I felt real awe at the spectacular coordination and agility of the human body and thought to myself, what a gift to be in the human form. And then a moment later, I asked myself, but what is the purpose of it? What is it for? Another incident had to do with a lecture given by an illustrious scholar. Again, I found myself amazed by a particular human aptitude. In this case, the fluent and easy manner in which the scholar was able to express the basic truths of daily living. And I had thought to myself, mind with this faculty of rationality is indeed an ingenious tool for understanding and discovery. From where does it draw its energy? A third incident. I had attended a program of devotional singing. The melody and rhythms of the songs giving voice to the various aspects of unconditional love seemed to pierce the depths of my heart. Without my being aware of it, tears trickled down my cheeks. Why, I wondered, does music have this incredible power to move the heart? Do tears help one to feel the pulse of the heart? And finally, as I was nearing the end of my morning walk, I recalled a fourth episode. A friend of mine would often invite me to meetings of different groups of dedicated seekers of truth. They introduced me to a number of techniques which seemed at the time highly effective and made me feel that I had found my true path. But the feelings faded and the experiences produced by the techniques did not last long. Now, comparing myself with the various skillful, talented, erudite, and devoted people connected with these 4 events, I felt diminished and depressed. Compared with these giants, I was a pygmy. Within the ambit of conflicting claims relating to my body and mind, I felt a kind of grayness settle over me, and I wondered whether I would ever find a way in which body, mind, and heart could be brought into harmony with each other so that the seeming gaps in my life's journey could be turned into bridges and the achievements could become outposts inspiring me to go beyond them. By the time I reached home, I was a mess of body, mind, and heart. But When I looked at my bouquet of common wildflowers, my spirits lifted and I set about arranging them in a vase on my sitting room table. Just as I finished doing this, I was surprised by a sweet, heartwarming voice behind me. Wonderful, marvelous.
So you can see in this particular paragraph, that is one, the big one, it all happens to us as well. You know that we try to compare ourselves with the talents, with the ability, with the capability, with the erudite aspect of it, or we always find that the grass is green or greener on the other side of fence. And we compare ourselves, and then we go into a sort of, he uses the word, I felt diminished, which means you felt very small. You felt a pygmy compared to the giants whom you were talking about, the circus acrobats, and then the person who was very
Devotional song.
the devotional songs and the meetings where seekers of truth gather together. And when you have your hand in too many pies, as they say, then you feel that, oh, somebody is doing much better than what you are doing. That's a matter of comparison which we always have to face in life. So that was the first, I wouldn't say paragraph, but the subchapter in this particular one. Now, just as he returned from the walk, he hears this very sweet voice from Baba exclaiming, wonderful, marvelous.
I turned and saw you standing in the center of the room, gazing intently at the bouquet with an expression of admiration and pleasure. There were no roses or lilies in the bouquet, just a random collection of wildflowers. But your face radiated a subtle blend of pink and golden hues, and it seemed to me that creation's fairest flower had come to visit me. I couldn't guess what made you so happy. I simply stared at you, wordless, until you gave me a quizzical smile and said, You seem to be deep in thought this morning. I hesitated, but then confessed, Yes, you are right. To be honest, my mind is all astir at the moment.
Custer would not steady, is not able to think straight.
You showered me with your smile and teased. So I suppose you have some questions for me. Not a question, but a complaint, I retorted. Against whom? Against no one in the world, not even the devil, but against you, I exclaimed. Against me? How could that be? Anyway, a complaint implies a series of questions. You smiled mischievously. Being the infinite one, at every moment I absorb complaints and shocks without number. What is one more complaint to me? I wish you'd be serious, I said. My complaint is that you have created so many beautiful things and inspired so many human accomplishments in the world. I wish I could derive joy from them all, but instead I find they cause jealousy in me, and this has precipitated a real identity crisis. As I concluded, you burst out laughing. Identity crisis. That sounds very impressive. Do you know what it means? I felt instantly deflated. I had been showing off with this imposing sounding language. I don't even know what I am or what I should be, I said, somewhat nervously. To make matters worse, I find myself envying others' talents, which are so much greater than my own. Then I told you about the circus acrobats, the lecturer, the devotional singing, and the group meetings, and added, watching and listening to those talented people made me feel inferior and crave to emulate them.
So here again, Baba is constantly bombarded with complaints and all kinds of, questions all the time. He being the infinite one, obviously, he's being bombarded. And Baba said, so what more? One more question, it's not going to make much of a difference. Here again, the other one that comes, the other word that comes about is that you feel envious. We feel jealous of somebody else's, capacity,
Achievements.
capability, achievements, and all that. At some other forum where I was discussing about jealousy, if somebody feels jealous about you, then one should be very happy in a sense. Why? Because that itself shows that in that person's mind and heart, you are much superior. That is why they are becoming jealous. Otherwise, there's no question of they or anybody becoming jealous of you. But here it's the other way around, that the author, Bal Natuji, is jealous about other people and he wants to emulate them. Now, emulate has various meanings. One of the attempts is to make an attempt to be equal to them. Emulate also means copy, to, to become like that, to be that and all that. So here ends the second sub-para, where certain things that are coming across very strongly, only there I am interjecting and trying to make it a little more understandable. Otherwise, other than that, it's all quite easy to understand.
The trouble with you said lightheartedly, is that you have not made a proper distinction between appreciating others objectively and being unduly influenced by them. There is a fine line between appreciation and influence. The former is liberating and enjoyable, but the latter binds. It is by letting yourself be influenced that you rob yourself of the sweetness of what you see and experience.
So here it needs a little explanation. I remember when the Indian cricket team was to go abroad and they were brought to Baba, I suppose in Guru Prasad, where he gave a very beautiful message to Polly Umrigar. I don't have the message right now, but words to the effect what he said, that real sportsmanship is that you play with the intent of exhibiting your capacity, your aptitude, your whatever your strong points are in that particular game. You play in order to entertain all the audience, the spectators, and you have the sporting spirit that even when the person of the opposite team plays good, you take equal joy in that. You are happy about that. Because after all, it's a sport. And in sportsmanship, you should appreciate the art and the talent and the capacity of the player, and not to have this kind of distinction like how we are experiencing now. That it's perfectly okay to celebrate and to appreciate the good points of the others. But here Baba is very superbly giving the distinction between appreciation and between, you can say, there's another word, influence, being influenced. Being influenced means we consider ourselves as small and somebody else as big. We are not objectively just looking at it. We are being sucked into that aspect of comparison, which is what not Baba is appreciating. I'll read this paragraph again. The trouble with you said lightheartedly, is that you have not made a proper distinction between appreciating others objectively, the game, the play, the whatever, the session, the lecturer, the circus person, the acrobat, yeah. Objectively, you are supposed to appreciate. But if instead of being objectively appreciating, you become subjectively influenced, then that is where the problem lies. So here Baba says, the problem is that you have not made proper distinction between appreciating others objectively and being unduly influenced by them. The moment you are influenced, it becomes a subjective subject, you can say. There is a fine line between appreciating and influence. The former is liberating. It makes you free. It makes you enjoy. Liberating and enjoyable. But the latter binds. The moment we are influenced by somebody or something, we are bound by that somebody or something. It is by letting yourself be influenced that you rob yourself of the sweetness of what you see and experience. Because we get ourselves bound, we start comparing, we become jealous, we become envious, and we want to emulate them. Go ahead.
What do you mean by influence? Influence can sometimes imply a subtle comparison by which you measure yourself against others. Comparison might make you proud, but it can also make you feel depressed and lead to the agony of not accepting what you are. So try to see each thing's innate thingness, and this will turn your envy into a receptive awareness of the beauty that resides in each thing for its own sake.
Worth reading again. So now the chapter itself is influence, presence, and essence. So now he's asking, the author is asking, what is influence? What do you mean by influence? Baba explains, influence can sometimes imply a subtle comparison by which you measure yourself against the others. You are comparing yourself with the others. Comparison might make you proud. Sometimes if you feel that somebody is not as good as you, it can make us proud. But it can also make you feel depressed and lead to the agony of not accepting what you are. Now, when you are comparing yourself with somebody who is supposedly bigger, greater, better, more having more capacity, whatever it is, than you, then automatically the first thing that happens is you feel depressed. You feel, as using the word, you are deflated, you are depressed, and in other words, it means that you are not accepting what you are. Diminished. The word used was diminished. Thank you. Because a very important aspect of joy or happiness or tranquility or whatever, of poise, let's say, is to accept what you are, to accept who you are. Acceptance is a very important aspect of our life. If we do not accept that which we cannot change, obviously, if you can change, there's a nice word, and we've been repeating this. God, give me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. I think it's a very powerful statement. If we really apply that in our life, by and large, we will be in a state of equanimity. The acceptance of what it is, what you are, what things are, that takes away a lot of our tension and all that. But that is only those things which you cannot change. You see, but if you can change certain things, then obviously you should have the courage to do it. And the wisdom to know what can I change and what I cannot change. What I should accept and where I should spend my energy to change things. So if that stability of the mind comes, then again, much of our unnecessary tension, stress, pressure goes away, because then you cannot change it. So we accept it. So here Baba beautifully says, which you feel depressed when you compare and lead to the agony, pain of not accepting what you are. Because this you cannot change, and you keep on harping on the same thought process that you want to do this, you want to be this, or whatever, comparing it with somebody who is supposedly greater. So try to see each thing's innate thingness. Innate is that is which is innate, inborn, existing, inherent. The innate thingness, thingness. This is the innate thingness of that thing. I'll repeat the sentence. So try to see each thing's innate thingness, and that will turn your envy into a receptive awareness of the beauty that resides in each thing for its own sake. In other words, what Baba is trying to say, that each each thing, each person is endowed with the innate thingness of that. So once we start appreciating that, then there is only beauty and there is only appreciation rather than the depression and the agony.
This is really getting complicated, I interrupted. Would you try to come down a little closer to my level? Why only a little? You replied. Let us really come down to earth. It is said that on the equator, any point at sea level is equidistant from the sun. Is that true? I was never any good at geography, but I think it is true.
Can you read this again so that the people
Let us really.
yeah.
It is said that on the equator, any point at sea level is equidistant from the sun. Is that true?
Right.
I was never any good at geography, but I think it is true. Well, the same principle applies to my omnipresence, which abides in all and is equally available to everyone. It is only your clouded perception that obscures this truth. Please help my mind and heart to understand a bit of what you are explaining. I implored, feeling a bit like a student who has fallen behind in his lesson. With an expression of infinite kindness, yet at the same time looking at me quite pointedly, you resumed, I mean to say that if you compare yourself with others and are jealous of their attainments, you will always complain and feel driven to emulate them instead of accepting yourself for who you are. The truth is that ultimately it does not matter what great things you have accomplished. Real greatness of mind and heart is determined by what you have offered to me. The more the mind is emptied of such thoughts as I have done this, I have done that, the more your heart will fill with joy.
So beautifully says, Baba says, okay. I mean to say, I'm not repeating the whole thing, I'm just saying the Baba's portion. I mean to say, Baba says, I mean to say that if you, no, I think there's another one. Okay, sorry. Well, Baba is explaining the same principle applies like the equator and equidistant from any point of the equator at the sea level to the sun. Baba says, well, the same principle applies to my omnipresence. Baba is omnipresent, which means he is equally present in each one of us wherever we may be. Sometimes we think, oh, you are in India, so you are so fortunate. You can go to Mehrabad so many times. Oh, you are staying in Ahmednagar, so you are so close to. Yes, it has its own importance. Samadhi has its own place. There's no doubt about it. But when we talk about Baba's omnipresence, then he is present everywhere equally. It is not that somewhere he is more and somewhere he is less. So it is only our perception, our awareness, which is clouding in a manner not to allow penetration of Baba's presence into our heart and into our life. So here Baba says, my omnipresence, which abides in all and is equally available to everyone, it is only your clouded perception that obscures this truth. So here Baba is again putting the ball in our court, as I had said so many times in different ways, that Baba is always there. The day or the moment we feel that Baba is not there with us, it means that we are more with us rather than be with Baba. It means that we have really covered ourselves up, shielded ourselves up, we have wrapped ourselves up in some kind of selfishness, self-centeredness, I, my, me, and mine, as a result of which we are not allowing Baba's influence, Baba's presence on us to come through. So it is never that Baba is not there. Oh my God. Sorry. It is never that, very sorry. It is never that Baba is not there. Right. It is just that we are not aware of his presence because of our awareness of things which are mundane, of things which are illusory, of things which are self-centered, selfish oriented stuff. That is why, sorry?
When you are, I am not there.
Yeah, okay. Aban has some question.
Yes.
Aban, go ahead.
You are very right. Baba is omnipresent, omnipotent, whatever we may say it. He's everywhere and he is all powerful. But then there are some points are given that at 5 o'clock in the morning, if you get up, you will get Baba's blessings or Baba's nazar. How can you correlate these two statements?
Okay, first of all, I have never read anywhere Baba saying that you get up at 5 o'clock and remember me. Baba did say that the first thing in the morning when you get up, when you wake up, just for a few seconds, few minutes, whatever, just remember me. Then at 12 noon, remember me. At 5 in the evening, remember me. And the last thing when you go to bed, remember me. This much I remember, but never at 5 o'clock in the morning. But all the same, 5 o'clock has its own importance, because Baba did say something to do with God realization being given, at that time. But that apart. The point is, see, every moment is blessed with his presence. But if we are not able to remember him at every moment, Baba makes it easy for us. At least you remember me at these 4 times in a day, so that a time may come when you see, if you are told remember at 12 o'clock, you at 11:30, oh, I have to remember at 12. So obviously indirectly you are remembering. Then 10 minutes to 12, oh, still more 10 minutes, but you have remembered him. Oh, still 5 minutes, 3 minutes, 2 minutes. So like that, this is my understanding. Baba is trying to cultivate within us the practice of remembering him all the time. So I personally don't know that whether any particular time is of very, Baba has said it, so it is important. Because Baba is above the law.
He hasn't said about morning 5 o'clock?
No, never. I have not read, nor have I heard anybody say. No.
Because I've been doing it since so many.
So it's very, very good that you are doing. I'm not saying don't.
So I will have blessings or not.
I am not saying don't do. All I am saying is, in my reading of Baba's literature, so far I have not come across where Baba says, remember me at 5 in the morning. I have not read. I'm not saying it is not there. I have not read it so far. Tomorrow, if I read it, I will call you up and say, I did read. Because many people,
about 12
there are many people,
about 12 o'clock and all that is there written by him.
Yes. There are many people who, like you do it at 5 o'clock. I know of people who stay awake till midnight, 12, and then do it. And if they ask me, I say, it's a good habit to remember Baba anytime, irrespective of the timing. But so far as my reading of Baba's authentic literature is concerned, I have not come across a general, you can say, a mandate that we should not sleep till 12 o'clock in the night and remember him and only then sleep. But there are people who do. And because you people, like you are doing, somebody else is doing with sincerity, with the heart in it, I'm sure it is helpful. I'm not saying don't do it. I'm simply quoting what I have read and what I have not read.
Okay.
Merchant has something to say?
Yeah.
Baba
said so. What is the ideal time to do prayer? Baba said 5 o'clock. That you'll get it in the Life Eternal Prayers Part 1, where Padri asked about the prayers.
Yeah. If it is prayer, then he did say between 4 and 5 are the most precious time, early morning. I agree. Yeah, that I said. Hello. Thank you, Merchant. Anything more to share?
No, nothing. Just
so had she said in the early morning between, I would have agreed. But she was very specific about 5 in the morning. And therefore I said, okay, I have not read anything which says you get up at 5 and remember my name. So like that. But thanks anyway. So coming back to our reading, where is it? Okay. The same principle applies where he says that I am equally available at all times and at all places. It's like that. So then, of course, Bal Natuji says, oh, it's too high for me. Please help me to understand. And then, with an expression of infinite kindness, yet at the same time looking at me quite pointedly, you resumed. I mean to say that if you compare yourself with others, because we are doing it, it's so nice that this book is giving us some idea. If you compare yourself with others and are jealous of their attainment, you will always complain. There'll always be a complaint. You will feel driven to emulate them. Now, here the emulate, another way, another meaning of emulate also is to feel rivalry. To feel rivalry, you're rival, you're jealous, you are envious. That's also meaning of emulate. Not just to copy them or monkey them or become like them. That's one. But here the meaning more, it goes well with the reading is that you will feel driven to emulate them instead of accepting yourself for what you are. So again, here the pointer is accept what you are. If you can change for the better, why not do it? If you cannot change for whatever the limitations, genuine or self-created are there, you cannot change, accept that fact. The truth is that ultimately, now this is extremely important. The truth is that ultimately it does not matter what great things you have accomplished. It does not matter what great things you have accomplished. Real greatness of mind and heart is determined by what you have offered to me. A very, very potent sentence. Everything that we are is to be offered to Baba. In other words, I remember Adi K. Irani had, I'm sure I must have said it, had Adi Senior Baba Secretary who had come to our center long years back, and he said that many people do a lot of effort and do achieve certain things. So that is their asset. But on the other hand, they keep on thinking, they keep on bragging, they keep on talking to others, they keep on publishing in papers, I have done this. I was instrumental in making this, doing this, achieving this, whatever. On one hand, you have earned, let us say, 1 lakh of rupees. On the other hand, you have a liability of 1.5 lakh of rupees. So in other words, all that you have achieved, accomplished, is only going to bind you more and more into samskaric bondage. Although you may have done very good things in life. So in order not to be bound, and at the same time to see that your so-called achievements or whatever your charities and all that are really helpful and fruitful, what is to be done is to offer that act to Baba. That is what comes across from this reading. The real greatness of the mind and heart is determined by what you have offered to me. The more the mind is emptied of such thoughts as I have done this, I have done that, the more your heart will fill with joy. So here again a very, very, very potent thought which Baba is, trying to influence us with is that irrespective of what you do, what you achieve, what you have internally, don't take pride, offer it to Baba. It is all Baba. It is all Baba. It is all Baba. All right, go on.
Part 4. So you are saying that even small daily acts and responsibilities have a special value in my relationship with you. The little ways of remembering me can pave a path of sunshine for you. When offered to me, those tiny responses from the heart, the common talks, daily chores, can bring you joy. You will experience a feeling of lightness as the burden of responsibility for what you do devolves upon me. Then These small exchanges and events will become great moments in your life. The important thing is not to be a clever talker, but rather to act with a pure and focused heart. But do not grow attached even to these rare and precious moments. If you really release these moments by offering them to me, you will find they grow in my presence. The human form, with all its aptitudes and potential, is a magnificent gift from me. Treat it with the honor and respect it deserves by using your physical and mental skills with discrimination. And you paused. Your words had put my preoccupations to rest, and now a profound tranquility came over me. I wanted to express my gratitude to you, but found myself unable to speak. At the same time, you seemed to be in an excellent mood, and a brilliant smile flashed from your eyes. In a loving yet cryptic way, you concluded, my presence emerges from my essence, the reality that is beyond the beyond.
Correct. So here once again, the emphasis is that by remembering at these smaller points of time, we are cultivating a full-time habit of remembering him at all the times. And when we are remembering him at all the times and offering all that we have achieved or acquired or whatever to Baba internally, then we feel a sense of joy, we feel a sense of liberation. Now, even this sense of joy and sense of liberation can be binding. You see, so even those feelings, the lofty feelings, are to be given up to Baba. And Baba says that in that case, in my presence, those very things which you have given up will grow. So that is how the whole circle is complete. So now let me read Baba's words. Now this is what Bal Natu ji is asking. So you are saying that even small daily acts and responsibilities have a special value in my relationship with you. That means, again, Baba is not saying that, okay, just remember me at 7 in the evening or 7 in the morning, Aarti time, prayer time. That's fine. It is very good. And the rest of the time, you just forget about me. No. Even in smaller things that we are discharging our responsibilities and small daily acts, we invite him to participate in with our brushing the teeth, or having bath, or having breakfast, or talking, or whatever it is, we invite him. It was very nice, nothing to do with what we are reading, but just the thought that is passing by. People talk about soulmate. Somebody had asked me a question also. Twin souls and soulmates. I said, I really don't know. I wear shoes which has got Bata sole. That much I know. Beyond that, I don't know. But it's a thought worth thinking about. When we talk about soulmate, then our real soulmate is only Baba. And it is not that he is a soulmate only for me or for you. He is a soulmate for everyone. So in short, what I'm trying to convey in my, as I say, limited understanding, we talk about soulmate. Why can't we make beloved Avatar Meher Baba our soulmate? And when we make him our soulmate, then automatically, spontaneously, we feel like remembering him. Automatically, we remember him. Some people may have their soulmates. Some people talk about their grandfather, great grandfather, or somebody, some girlfriend, or somebody living very far off from where you are, and you consider them as soulmates, and constantly you are thinking about them, isn't it? About him or her, or whatever. So why can't we make Baba our soulmate and think about him all the time? It's just a thought, nothing to do with the reading, but I had this thought just now, it just came, and so I am sharing it. So here Baba says, the little ways of remembering me, small, small things, can pave a path of sunshine for you. That means in Hindi we say, you know what is it called? Katra katra, something. Drop by drop the ocean is made, you know, or boon boon se sagar, something like that. So in other words, these little small things can pave path of sunshine for you. When offered to me, those tiny responses from your heart, it should be from the heart, obviously, it should not be mechanical. The common talk, there are many people who talk with Baba all the time, especially small children, you know. Chalo Baba, we are school jaiye now. I'm going to school, Baba, come with me. Or Baba, today is my examination, you be by my side so that I'm able to write well. Something of that sort, you know. The small, the common talks, the daily chores can bring you joy. You will experience a feeling of lightness as a burden of responsibility for what you do devolves upon me. Even if we do something good, we have done something excellent, there is a burden, subtle burden, that I have done it. I am the doer of that job. But when you pass it on to Baba, you know, that burden is not there. So here, the burden of responsibility for what you do devolves upon me. Then these small exchanges and events will become great moments in your life. Because we are simply offering it to Baba, they become great moments in our life. The important thing is not to be a clever talker, but rather to act with a pure and focused heart. So again, here Baba is not talking about, for example, singer. You are a beautiful singer, you sing very beautifully. But if there is no feeling, no heart, then Baba would not appreciate. So same way, when we talk about Baba, there has to be a feeling within for Baba, of Baba. Only then it permeates and it affects the other person. Even if you are talking about Baba to somebody, only at the intellectual level, Baba talks, clever talker. It's okay. But when you talk with the feeling, then it definitely has some impact on the other person. But do not grow attached even to these rare and precious moments. If you release these moments by offering them to me, you will find they grow in my presence. That means His presence. In short, don't be attached even to those very subtle and beautiful feelings. Even those feelings, you offer it to me. The human form, with all its aptitudes and potential, is a magnificent gift from me. We all know that. Treat it with honor and respect it deserves by using your physical and mental skills with discrimination. Discrimination means recognizing good from bad, so-called good from so-called bad. And you pause. Did you read? Achha. Your words had put my preoccupations to rest. What was his preoccupation? He was constantly thinking about those 4 events in his life, and he was thinking how very diffused he is, how very deflected he is, how very diminished he is, and he was envying, he was jealous. All those preoccupations have just evaporated. Your words had put my preoccupations to rest, and now a profound tranquility came over me. I wanted to express my gratitude to you, but found myself unable to speak. Sometimes you don't have words to convey what you feel within yourself. At the same time, you seemed to be in an excellent mood, and a brilliant smile flashed from your eyes.
In a loving, I think this,
No.
yet cryptic way, you concluded, my
Yeah.
presence.
Sorry. Yeah. Okay, I'll read this. In a loving yet cryptic way, mystified. In a loving but yet cryptic way, you concluded, my presence emerges from my essence. He is essence. He is astitva. He is everything that is. He is existence. So his presence, which we are able to see, which is tangible to our physical eyes. He says, my presence emerges from my essence. And what is the essence? The reality that is beyond the beyond. His essence is the reality which is beyond the beyond. And from that state, of beyond the beyond, his presence is brought down on earth to make it more tangible to us through our five senses. To be able to see, to be able to touch Baba, to be able to feel Baba, and all that. So to hear, of course, hear in the sense, hear him in the heart. Yeah.
Awe and wonder stirred within me, hearing this. You speak of your presence and essence, but then who are you? The next moment, I felt the impudence of my question. You didn't answer, yet your expression seemed to grow more luminous, bathing my being with the radiance of your compassion and forgiveness. Silently, you rose from the chair and moved to the vase. You picked out a single flower and gave it to me. At that moment, it seemed to be the most beautiful flower I had ever seen. While I stood there transfixed, you left. Your departure didn't sadden me, rather, I was in a state of rapture. Gently, I returned the flower to the vase. To my amazement, every flower in the vase revealed itself to me in its own unique, exquisite splendor, and the room was filled with a heavenly perfume. I remained enthralled by this vision for some timeless moments. Then I heard you speak in my heart. That flower was my gift to you, that your every thought, word, and deed may be your flower offering to me, given in my remembrance. Let it instill harmony of body, mind, and heart. Then, with my grace and in my own time, you will know the answer to the question you asked me. I heard your chuckle like the gentlest tinkling of bells, and that will be the surprise of lifetimes. Your words trailed off, but your silent, blissful presence lingered. Now I anxiously await that benevolent moment ordained by you. Until then, I pray that you bless me to resign myself patiently to your blessed will, not to sound impatient, but give you.
Very beautiful thought processes. So now let me read that again. I'll start from this. You concluded, my presence emerges from my essence, the reality that is beyond the beyond. Awe and wonder stirred within me. Hearing this, you speak of your presence and essence, but then who are you? The next moment, I felt the impudence of my question, which is not respectful. The question was not good behavior. How can I ask this? Who are you? You didn't answer, yet your expression seemed to grow more luminous, bathing my being with the radiance of your compassion and forgiveness. Again and again, Baba's compassion comes up, the compassionate Father, the forgiving one, the merciful one. Because irrespective of how well or not so well we behave, he is always compassionate because he understands our limitations. He understands where we are coming from. He understands that we are slaves of our past sanskaras and karmas, and that is the reason why we behave the way we behave. He understands all this. So there is never a condemnation. It is always a forgiveness and always a compassion. So you didn't answer. Okay. Silently you rose from the chair and moved to the vase. Originally we saw that there was a vase and there was a wild flowers kept over there. You picked out a single flower and gave it to me. And that moment, it seemed to be the most beautiful flower I had ever seen. While I stood there transfixed, that means motionless, and you left. This giving of the wild flower reminds us again of the wild flower that Baba had given to Elizabeth Patterson on the 24th of May 1932. Exactly 20 years from the first self, you can say, self-imposed suffering by way of the automobile accident in the US, Prague, Oklahoma. 24th of May 1952 was the day he had chosen to take upon himself the suffering, and 24th of May 1932, Baba gave this wildflower, one wildflower, simple wildflower to Elizabeth Patterson, telling her to note down the date, remember the date, which she did and kept it in her Bible. And she was the one who was driving the car when the accident took place. For several years, she was very remorseful that I caused the accident. It was much later when she was shifting homes and when she looked up through old Bible and she saw that wildflower stuck on one of the pages of the Bible, and over there it was written 24th May 1932. That was when it struck her that Baba had so beautifully pre-planned that on 24th May, exactly 20 years by the date, she would be driving where he would have to take upon himself the suffering of the world by way of an automobile accident. So here again, he's picking up this particular wildflower. Your departure didn't sadden me. Rather, I was in a state of rapture. Rapture would mean extreme joy. Gently, I returned the flower to the vase. To my amazement, every flower in the vase revealed itself to me its own nature. And that is what it meant. What the innate thingness. Baba used that word. The innate thingness of everything has its own beauty, and that is to be appreciated, and that is to be loved, and not to be envied. Not to be influenced by anything outside of us. Exquisite splendor, and the room was filled with a heavenly perfume. I remained enthralled by this vision, enthralled, captivated, fascinated by this vision for some timeless moments. There are some moments which they are timeless moments. You can't really place a point of time on that. Then I heard you speak in my heart. That flower was my gift to you because it was picked up by Baba from the vase and given to the author Bal Natu. That flower was my gift to you, that your every thought, word, and deed may be your flower offering to me, given in my remembrance. In other words, when we go for at the samadhi or when we go anywhere, we offer flowers. We offer flowers to Baba. What Baba wants us to offer is our every thought, word, and deed. Let those be the flower offering to me in my remembrance. What a beautiful thought process, I'll repeat this. That flower was my gift to you. What was the gift? What is the gift? What is the gift coming from Baba to Bal Natu ji and hopefully to all of us? That gift is, Baba says, that flower was a gift. That flower was my gift offering to you. What? That every thought, word, and deed may be your flower offering to me, given in my remembrance. So Baba wants the offering from us, not of flowers. Even if we are giving flowers, we have to, along with, give all our thoughts, words, and deeds to Him. We have to offer our entire being to Him. in truth or in actuality, there is no such separative I, isn't it? So in truth or in reality, it is He only playing the role of each one of us, through each one of us, but without our awareness that it is He who is doing. So now the other way of becoming aware is to offer it to Him. And the more we offer it to Him, the less of our finite, limited, separative, egocentric I remains. And the more we offer, automatically, at the end of the journey, we realize that all through, I thought it was I doing it, all through it was Him and Him and Him alone, because I never existed, given in my remembrance. Let it instill harmony of body, mind, and heart. Then, with my grace and in my own time, you will know the answer to the question you asked me. What was the question? Who are you? So you will know the answer. How you will know? By becoming Him. You see, the only way to know the answer to the real first question, who am I, is to become what we really are. The answer is Aham Brahmasmi, I am God. Right. I heard your chuckle like the gentlest tinkling of bells, and that will be the surprise of lifetimes. Means the end of the story. Your words trailed off, but your silent, blissful presence lingered. The words will utter, they utter, it enters through our ears, we assimilate and interpret through our mind, and then we react in whatever way, pleasantly or unpleasantly. That's over with. But here he says, your words trailed off, but your silent, blissful presence lingered. The silence keeps lingering. Now, I anxiously await that benevolent moment ordained by you, because you said that on that particular time, at that particular moment, I will bestow you with that gift. So he says, I am awaiting that particular benevolent moment ordained by you. Until then, I pray that you bless me to resign myself patiently to your blessed will. That means let me have the patience to resign myself completely to your will. And not to sound impatient, he says, but will you? That means, will you bless me with the patience so that I resign myself with you, to you all? And here ends this particular chapter. Anything to ask? We still have about 2-3 minutes to go. No questions, no sharing. What is this happening here? No, we can't start another one because it's a long one.
Cyrus.
Yes, Aman. Thank you.
This is a question which of course I know it is too stupid to ask.
I am equally stupid to answer, don't
But everything Baba says is Maya, illusion. It's not real. So I'm thinking, what about these masters and these gurus and Baba himself? What are they then when they take birth on this earth?
Okay.
They are also illusion. They are also Maya.
Okay.
This is something which is bothering me. Can you give me a concrete answer to this?
Concrete, I don't know, but I can give you a stupid answer. Because you ask for a stupid question.
Please do it fast because I have to go for another meeting.
Very, very simply, everything in the domain of illusion is illusion. But when truth comes into illusion, which is only the avatar, the perfect never comes.
What comes?
Truth. Baba avatar is the truth. When truth comes into illusion, his whole purpose is to awaken us from the illusion, to make us aware of the illusion as the illusion. Am I concrete enough?
Complicated kari di tu.
Now you wanted a concrete answer. Anyway, I think you should not be late for the next session.
Yes.
In the-
Anyway,
in the-
પણ હવે જરા તું ધ્યાનથી મારા પર લઈ જાઓ.
We'll talk.
We'll talk. Otherwise, you give a proper answer on
No,
the
I give a most proper answer.
નહીં હવે એવું બધું કઈ નહીં ઓલ એમ બધું કહું બધું મને વધારે કન્ફ્યુઝ કરી દીધી.
Okay.
ચાલો બાય.
Jai
Bye.
Baba. Jai Baba.
જય બાબા.
I-
જય બાબા.
Anybody? Thank you, Abba. Anybody else has a question? No, we still are with 6:30. If we are sharp 6:30 by Abba's grace, we are starting on time and finishing on time. Sometimes we might be a little delayed, but anyway, thanks once again. Thanks to all of you, and thank you, beloved Baba. Acha, that reminds, there is a possibility that on Saturday we may not have a session this Saturday because I may not be at home, but that we will be circulating it through our dear friend Rakesh. Okay? Chalo, thank you very much. Thank you, Baba. Avatar Meher Baba ki
Baba ki jai.
Jai Baba.